where do you see, or let's talk about you first. Where do you see yourself in, say, 5 or 10 more years?
Yeah, it's a great question. I would love the opportunity, and I studied leadership. I would love to reach an executive level, to try, to see what it'd like to be a college president, to lead a whole institution. Mm-hmm. I would love to. I'd be honored to try to serve the college in that way, as a campus president, as a college president, provost. But I'm grateful, where I am now. But
sure.
But certainly that would be an opportunity I would welcome.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think everybody should be looking forward and trying to improve themselves, whether it's getting a promotion or just being better at what you're doing now.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a whole department called Office of Continuous Improvement.
Yeah, that's right.
They're great. So everyone should be constantly trying to improve themselves. So where do you see the college moving in the next 5 to 10 years? Specifically North Campus.
Yeah, I think all of higher ed, in particular community college, I think there's a lot as technology continues to advance. Right, we're doing a podcast now. I think the way we deliver education, and this, I'm thinking of your Black Book and your videos, right? Sure. The way students access education, the way we do education is definitely changing. My youngest daughter is just finished 6th grade. She's already done 2 fully online classes. So I think the way school is packaged, and that through college, is going to really, really change. I think, it's funny, and I know, when I see professors say, I'm mad that my students are on that. Guess what? This isn't going away. And I think education and the way we think about education is going, and I don't know exactly what that is, but I think that it's going to be a lot more individualized, customized, decentralized in some ways. I wonder about the nature of degree. Will we get into more badging and skill-based? Like we mentioned, more people have access to content than ever before. Mm-hmm. How much formalization? And where we're great is we don't saddle our students with tremendous amounts of debt. Right. We're very affordable. But these institutions, and I have great friends with kids who just with their undergrads are sustaining tremendous amounts of debt. And for what? When I think I can't preach how great Broward, the value is for Broward, potential for Broward College students to earn credentials like they can at such a low cost. And I think there'll be more of that. I think that's going to change. So I think Broward College is in a great position to be more agile and adaptable. I wonder about the 16-week class. Will that still be in place? Maybe in some form. I think there's going to be more and more video. I think a lot of it will be, I'm going to be listening to Dr. Betts' lecture on a podcast on my way home our students work. Mm-hmm. So
they're already doing that, actually.
Right. Yeah, Khan Academy, more things like that. So I wonder what that looks like. It will be interesting for us as people in the profession 10 years from now to look back. I mean, even think about 10 years ago, education looks a little different.
Well, just 10 years ago, we didn't have the internet we have now. It's amazing. And you're right. Looking back, it's kind of, even 6 years ago, school's changed quite a bit, even in 6 years.
And I think we need to continue to push ourselves to be ahead. I think we've got to be aware of that. And I understand you don't need to reinvent the wheel all the time, right? You do need the wheel to build the Tesla, right?
Sure,
it still needs a wheel.
Right, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right.
But I think we have to really, as educators, be conscious of the way we're delivering education. So I think there's some really cool stuff in front of us. I'm really optimistic. I think it's a great time to be alive and working in education. It's exciting. There's a lot of change.
There's a lot of change, and I think you're right about being in a community college like Broward. We're large. We have resources, and we have faculty that are really, really good, excited to do new and interesting things.
Yeah.
And we're not afraid of it. I mean, I'm in my 40s, but I'm not scared of technology. It doesn't scare me.
Right.
I'm kind of just a jump in there and get it done kind of person. Just to see what happens, Maybe it'll flub, maybe it'll be great. Let's find out.
Right.
There's no way to know until you do it, And I try to instill in my students, don't be afraid to fail.
Absolutely.
Go out there and fail. And the next time you try, you'll probably hit a grand slam. You just never know.
I embrace that. Try it. Doesn't work. Okay.
Yeah, try something new. Don't be embarrassed to fail. I mean, look at people like Steve Jobs. I mean, he started Apple, was kicked out of Apple, and then came back and took it back.
Right.
He wasn't afraid of anything. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome, inspiring guy. So let me ask you, how would you advise a high school student who comes to you and says, Dr. Nasse, I just don't want to go to college. I'd rather just do X, Y, Z.
I think I would say fine, if that's what you really feel and that's what you want. But I would say, I think open-mindedness is important. Why don't you want to go to college? And why? Do you think of college in a certain way? Are you open to just taking a class? Maybe it's not going to college, but are you interested in taking a programming class, for example? What are you into? What are your likes? I think self-awareness, is a big thing for our students. And I wish I had, maybe the Marine Corps was my way of gaining self-awareness. I don't know, but I know when I talk to students, some of them, when you ask them, I always like to ask my students, why are you here? Well, I need 1101, it's required. Yeah, but really, why are you here? Are you thinking about those things? How do you define success? What are you really into? Some people say, I want to be a nurse. Why? Because they get paid great money. Right. That's not what, as you get older, you kind of have those realizations. So I think anything we can do for that particular high school student, I'd say that's okay. Maybe right now at 18, 17, you don't want to go to college, and that's fine.
Sure. Absolutely.
But why do you think that way? What do you want to do? You may not want to go to college, but you do need to learn.
Sure.
Right? You'd have to live the learning life, whatever that is. And so, of course, I'm biased. I work at a college, and we know, right, to attain, resources and to gain some level of economic freedom, you need a college education. I mean, statistically. But I don't think it should be rote. Going back to what we talked about, I would like people to discover what they want. So I wouldn't yell at them.
No, neither would. No, I think your answer is great. That's kind of what I'd say to people. I say, if you don't want to go to college, don't. But what else are you going to do? You can't do nothing.
Right.
I mean, sure, you can do nothing, but your life's going to be very unsatisfying.
Right.
It's like
you got one trip here, right?
Yeah, you got one go at this. You get one swing at the bat. So let's make it a good one, right? If you're going to swing hard. If you're going to miss big.
Right.
I had a student that asked me one time, and it was I have a lot of sad stories. The student asked me, do you ever just think you're going to be alone forever? And I'm thinking, you're only 18.
Wow.
How can you be thinking about such depressing things at 18? And I said, well, what do you mean about being alone forever? Like, what do you mean? He's like, I just don't think I'm ever going to meet anyone to marry. And I'm like, you're 18. What are you even worried about being married? And he was very concerned about this.
Wow.
And I'm like, you're a smart guy. You're tall. You're handsome. Well, why wouldn't you get married? This is kind of a weird statement. And his confidence was so low that he couldn't see himself being a married man with children. He just couldn't see it. And I'm like, first thing you need to do, man, stop thinking like that. You need to change your mental attitude. You got to start thinking positively. Like, I have a lot to offer, not just another person, but the world. Because he wanted to be a pharmacist.
Oh.
And I'm like, and he's very smart. He's probably going to be very successful. First thing you want to do, put your head up, put your shoulders back, and walk confidently. Just do that. And you'll be amazed at what happens.
Right.
Because people don't like, and I try to explain to him that people don't like insecurity. It makes people nervous.
Sure.
So be confident. Don't be arrogant, be confident. And I try to get all my students to be confident. How I do that is I ask them questions, a lot of questions. Why do you think that? What's this all about? How does that work? And they're amazed at how, once they get used to that, how fast they can answer.
Right.
Because you know it, you just don't believe you know it.
Right.
And a lot of it with students, at least in my opinion, is do you believe that you understand this? And it's hard. Life is hard.
Or that you can understand it, right?
Yeah, you can comprehend this stuff. Life is hard, chemistry is hard, English is hard. It's all hard. Anything worth doing is hard.
Right.
So do it. It's fun. Get out there and have a good time, right? That's what I like to try to tell students. But
yeah, I love that.
Isn't it great? This is a great job.
Yeah, it is.
Not just because you're the boss am I saying this, but really this is a great job. I tell people.
It's cool to think and talk with people about these things.
It is fun. And I tell people, I've had numerous jobs in my life, most of them research jobs. I've never had a job where I wake up at 7 o'clock every morning going, let's go.